Hey golfers, so today we're going to be learning how to dial in some key distances with your wedges with some simple use of the TrackMan. So distance wedges, they can certainly be a challenge, and in this video we're going to go through some different distance clusters, 30 to 35 and 50 to 55, and just to get a better understanding of how we can dial in our speed and swing length to hit the target that we're looking for. Now, often when I work with students on a day-to-day basis, their concept of dialing in their distance wedges is solely based around swing length, and it's certainly not a bad theory or idea to think just about swing length. But with the use of TrackMan and things like FlightScope Mevo and sort of accessible devices, we can now tap into the key metric on these devices, such as swing speed. Now, the speed of the swing is going to largely dictate the distance that the ball travels. In fact, if we looked at some of the things within our control, I would say the length of the swing and the speed of the swing would be key factors. The other factors that are going to influence how far the ball travels are going to be the club that we're using. So whether you use your lob wedge, 58, 56, or your gap wedge, and also the strike or the contact. Now, the two variables we're going to be looking at today are going to be mostly swing speed and a little bit of swing length. And we're going to assume that we're getting a fairly consistent strike. Today, we're going to be looking at speed in relation to distance. Now, the first speed window that I'm going to be looking at, or distance window, I should say, is going to be between 30 to 35 meters. If you're using yards, you can just add 10% to this. And I'm going to get in here and make some swings where, as we look on the TrackMan, we're going to see what sort of carry we're able to achieve, and we're going to see what sort of distance we're able to achieve with a reasonable contact. So the first one I was able to carry that exactly 31. We had a club head speed of 46, and we had a smash of about 92, which is a slight miss hit. But we're going to hit a few more shots and just see if I can get some sort of consistency around that club head speed, and then we'll measure the carry. Now for me, I'm using what feels like about a waist high to waist high swing. I was able to, again, get my speed around that 44 to 45. Seems like that's a pretty good sweet spot for me. And we can see when I do that, I can get the carry into the low 30s with a total there of mid 30s. So again, we're going to just hit a few more here and see if we can really dial in that feel. Everyone's going to be a little different, again, depending on your impact condition, depending on the club that you're using, etc. But what you want to be able to do is figure out, again, what is your sweet spot as far as speed. I pulled that ball a little bit, so I got more carry, but I basically kept the speed more or less around the same, that 44 to 46 range, and that's going to be what I'm going to be working towards on these next few shots. That one felt pretty good. Again, we've got the club head speed at 45, a good contact, smash of about 1. And again, that was right on about the carry that we're looking for. So one more of those. Not quite as clean with the contact there, but very consistent with the club head speed. And that's really what I'm looking for. So if I can keep the smash factor to around 1, and that's just a representation of the quality of the strike, and I can keep my club head speed around that 44 to 46 mark, I'm going to be able to carry the ball in a very kind of consistent range. One ball that went a little bit longer was club face closing down a little bit too much, but again, I kept my speed dial, if you like, pretty consistent. So what we're going to do now, we're going to jump to, let's say, the next distance window, which is going to be about 50, around 50 or low 50s carry, up to about sort of mid 50s total. So what I'm looking to do here is probably add about 10 miles an hour of speed, which is going to give me at least a 15 to 20 meter add-on to the current distance that I'm hitting. Let's hit a few and see. So there's a 55 speed, and that's carried about 46. So I want to just get a little bit more out of that. For this one, I'm looking for a low 50s. Okay, felt add a little bit more speed into that. Okay, so we pushed that up to 56. A good strike, and we carried that into the low 50s. So around that sort of 56 to 57 is going to be the sweet spot that I'm going to be looking for to carry the ball into the low 50s. There's a 57 clubhead speed and a 52 carry with a smash of 1. So that was a nice clean strike. As we can see there, all the shots weren't struck perfectly, but what I did a pretty nice job of, as we look up on the left part of the screen there, for those longer distances, once I got dialed in, probably after my second shot there, I was 57, 57, 57.9, 57.7, really kept a nice job of managing the speed, which is really keeping a consistent length and pace of swing. And again, if we can get a solidly struck shot with a smash of about 1, we're going to get a very consistent response from the ball. Very similar to when I was dialing into that 30 to 35. I was quickly able to get into that sort of 46, 45 range, hitting that mark pretty much every time. Really good way, maybe a little different way to look at your distance wedges. Give it a go. Let me know your feedback in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next one. If you're new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll be sure to receive this quality content as it becomes available.